Hi, this is Nathan. Welcome to the Wad Fam Shock Pod.
Oh, hi there. Welcome to the podcast. I'm Dylan James Weaver, but most folks around here just call me Dylan. Why don't you get the whole family together and join us for another exciting Wad Fam Shock Pod?
You know, I've known Dylan since he was in 7th grade. To this day, I still can't tell you how many times I think to myself when he and I are talking, why are we talking about this? Like,
It is the problem.
well, the problem is I usually enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that.
Hello and welcome to the Wad Fam Shock Pod. I'm Dylan Weaver.
And I'm Andrew Sabo.
And this week, we are joined by a special guest, a returning guest. He's our resident Kelly expert. He used to be our youth pastor. He's trying to be a Sunday school teacher. And he is, in fact, a life coach for teenagers. It's
Arthur C. Woods. And yes, Dylan, I'm so excited. My wife and I go to a new church, small church, and I recently asked if I could help teach youth Sunday school, and they told me that they'd have to send me through an entire vetting process to do that. So I'm aspiring Sunday school teacher. I'll let you know how it goes.
The application process is brutal, man. I mean,
it sounds like it's going to be. Yeah.
It's like med school in Europe. It's cutthroat.
It's tough. They ask a lot of questions I don't even know the answers to. By the way, do you guys know your blood types?
No, actually, no.
No.
Did they ask you that?
Wait, do you not know yours, Andrew?
No, not
You
off the top of my head.
you like worked in medicine stuff.
I know so much
medicine
stuff. I work in
healthcare. You worked in healthcare.
Yes.
Is what I was trying to say.
I don't know that. I do know my
Didn't
dad's
you take
blood type.
people's blood?
Once.
They're still looking for it.
By take people's blood, do you mean accidentally cut somebody? Because I've done that.
Oh man.
No, I don't. I don't know my blood type.
Yeah. Okay. Me either. So.
It'll be great. I think it's one of the normal ones. Like, I think I'll be fine in the event of like an emergency blood transfusion.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
And you don't know yours either, Arthur.
No,
okay.
no, I have no idea. It's the.
Well, then I gotta
what's
scrap my
what's
plans
the
for
red
this
one?
episode.
What's the red one?
The red.
The
Blood.
red blood. Yeah. Well, actually, Arthur, actually, blood is blue. I don't know if you knew that.
That's not true.
Well,
That's not true.
Thank you, 1980s science.
Yep. It got me. My veins were blue, and then whenever I cut them, it was red. So.
Yep, it's because of all that oxygen.
It's the
oxygen. There's
It
no
becomes
oxygen
red.
in the blood until it's exposed to the air.
The whole concept of oxygenated blood.
Yep.
Did I even get it out
Yeah,
the
you
second?
did.
I did.
You did great.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Not real.
Yeah, and so yeah, that's what we're here to talk about today.
Blood.
No, we're discussing episode 630, which is Chip Off the Shoulder, which is another the next of the Kelly episodes because that's what Arthur's on here to talk about always.
Forever.
How do you feel about having cornered this market, Arthur?
I feel like, it took me a while to kind of get rid of the competition because I think a lot of people were really trying to become Kelly experts. And I was like, you know what? This is all about me. So Adventures in Odyssey, I am the Kelly expert, all like 6 episodes that she's actually on the show for.
Which you've heard 4 of now?
I've heard 4 of them. Yeah, I'm looking forward to her final episode. You told me, I think it's a murder-suicide episode. I think or is that, am I thinking of something else? But yeah, so that'll be sad.
Do you have any like internal motivation to expand your knowledge to all Kellys everywhere, or just within the universe of Adventures in Odyssey? Because there's a lot of underserviced Kellys in the world that could use your expertise.
Yeah, I would agree. But I think for now, because I don't want to like overstep my bounds or overwork or whatever. I really just need to kind of be the expert on this particular Kelly, and then we'll see.
Where the Lord leads you.
Yeah, I think that it is something that I'm taking a prayer regularly. So
yeah.
Lord,
Lord, show me a Kelly today that needs my help.
Yeah. I like Kelly Kapoor on The Office.
Yeah, great.
So she's pretty funny. So.
You're an actors person. What's another Kelly actor? Actress.
Another Kelly actress. I mean, I thought of Kelly Reichardt, who's a director.
Yeah, there you go.
Made First Cow among others.
Wasn't there like back in the day? Wasn't there like a male surfer, Kelly something?
Kelly Ripa?
Kelly Ripa was not a male surfer. Kelly Slater, I think, or something like that.
Sure, why not?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I went to high school with a guy named Kelly.
There you go.
Yeah. I had a kid in my youth group named Kelly when I was in the youth group.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He put his fist through a window.
Oh my god!
Had to be rushed to the hospital.
At
It
youth
was
group.
horrible. Yeah, it was at youth
On
group.
purpose?
No, he was like dancing as one does, and he just decided to put his fist through the window.
Boogie through a window.
Yeah, there was blood everywhere, and his blood was green, which I never understood. And we're back.
It was the weird unoxygenated.
That was the unoxygenated blood.
Man, so as a recap, are you? I don't know, Arthur. It's been a year.
I
since
know
you've
what
been
you're
on.
about to ask me, and the answer is no.
So I want you to give your best shot as the resident Kelly expert. How did we, so this is our 4th episode
Yes.
we're talking about with Kelly. It's the 4th episode she's in. How did we get here?
Well, Kelly was living in foster care with her mom and her mom's several different boyfriends.
She was living in foster care?
She
with her
was
mom?
she was living with her mom. I apologize. Got ahead there, with her mom and several boyfriends. Not all at the same time, but her mom had several boyfriends. And anyway, you get it. So eventually, Kelly shows up at Odyssey, and through divine intervention, gets fostered/adopted by the Washington family. And that brings us to today.
Nailed it.
breaths.
Perfect. No notes.
That's good.
That brings us to today.
That was very vague, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was also inaccurate.
Well, I did have to offer one correction during it. So. Oh man. But yeah.
This is a doozy of an episode. This is like a pretty extensive cast and everything. And
Yeah, and we're finally talking about Kelly again. The last episode was like Kelly was like had a B, was like the B plot.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was mostly about Connie and her roommate who ate peanut butter pancakes and nearly killed herself.
Yeah.
Because she was too nice.
Yep.
And then we in the background had Kelly having like water balloon fights with
That's right.
from Tamika's
Tamika,
bedroom and some
yep.
stuff.
I clearly remember that very well.
Yeah, that was interesting.
So we're back to a more Kelly-centric Kelly episode, although it takes a while to get there.
Yeah.
But this episode's written and directed by Marshall Younger, and he wrote and directed The Chosen One, Part 1 and 2, which were the first Kelly episodes we talked about.
I know.
Duh.
I know.
Sorry, I'm saying it for the audience.
No, you were looking directly at me, the Kelly expert.
Like he doesn't know.
All right. I'll leave now. You guys can have your Kelly episode together. And
No, Dylan,
I'll
you know
go
what you
off.
can do? You can roll the promo.
Well, no, the thing I was gonna say, just to recap for the audience, is Marshall Younger like fosters kids, or at the time was fostering kids, and so the last Kelly episode we talked about was written by an Odyssey intern and didn't have that personal connection. I think that episode did not have a lot of depth, and this
Kelly,
one
yeah.
feels like, it feels like, okay, Marshall Younger's back in here, he's doing something. We'll see how everyone feels about it, but like, you know.
That's a good point. I'm glad I let you say it.
Yeah, I'm glad you haven't like completely taken over my show.
My show.
Yeah, no.
How do you feel about that, Andrew?
I'm fine. I'm not conflict. I'll roll over and play dead for a while.
Hey guys, welcome to the Arthur C. Woods podcast. I'm with Dylan Weaver today, who will be my one-time guest.
Ouch. Oh man. And then this episode aired December 15th of 2007. And I bring this up only to say that the previous one aired in April of 2007. So this is a good 6 months or 8 months later that we're coming back to this episode. There's a decent number of episodes in the meantime, and yeah, I don't know. It just the Kelly story is I don't know.
It's clearly a priority for
Right.
the writing staff.
That's what I was gonna say.
They're really getting their best and brightest. And
Like they apparently like weaving it in, but it's not anybody's like, yeah, we got to make sure that like there's a lot of Kelly stuff coming out because the people demand it. So, anyway, with all that out of the way, I'm gonna roll the promo, and then we can talk about the actual episode. I don't know why it feels like I'm holding everyone hostage, but I do apologize for that.
On the next Adventures in Odyssey, Wits End has an unusual visitor.
I've been having trouble with envy.
There's the story of Cain and Abel.
That is great.
What's so funny?
A guy behind the counter giving advice from the Bible. Hello, excuse me, but 1950s TV just called and it wants its plot device back.
And Connie makes a decision.
I'm gonna finish my book.
On the next Adventures in Odyssey.
What stood out about that promo, guys?
no Kelly. Not a single Kelly to be found. No care. No care.
I just really wanted to set up
Exactly.
this being a Kelly episode and then roll a promo that did not include her.
But it did include, I watch a lot of movies, TV show, listen to radio, and podcasts and blah, blah, blah. I have never hated a character more in my life than that obnoxious no-name dude at the beginning of this episode trying to get Wit to tell him about a Bible verse or something. Oh my gosh, I was
Baiting him.
I was so glad they didn't bring him back. Spoiler alert, he does not come back.
Yeah, it starts right. So the episode starts out with a tourist who
Unnamed obnoxious guy.
right
Got it.
who is coming to Odyssey to make fun of them.
Yep. Apparently, wait, what's the name of the author?
Rusty Gordon.
Rusty
he was
Gordon.
part of the Bones,
Bones
of
of
Wrath,
Wrath,
gang back in the day. Went off, wrote a book about how dumb Odyssey is, and they apparently aren't recovering well from that slander.
The literary scene in Illinois is notoriously vicious.
It's just
And, it's really, any town is just one bad book away from going under. It's,
well, no, but they should see this as a positive because they're getting all this attention.
exactly.
They otherwise wouldn't have,
If Twitter has taught me anything, all attention is good attention.
Oh man, it's a kind of. I guess he only exists to reinvigorate Connie towards starting to write her book again, so that we can understand that she hasn't reconciled with Kelly.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But it's portrayed as such a larger thing for
Right.
the overall episode.
the fact that this is where the episode
Right.
starts feels like this is going to be the tone. The
Yeah.
whole thing's going to be them going toe to toe
Yeah.
with all of these like tourists who just think that there's some like
Yep.
quaint backwards town when actually, they're the
Has nothing to
good
do with
godly
that.
town. And no, that's not what the episode is about.
Did you kind of interpret it at all as maybe they were like making fun of themselves, like the actual writers of this episode?
Oh, yeah.
By referring to it as like an outdated 1950s
50s.
TV
Oh, yeah.
premise. It's like,
Yes.
well, that's what your show is.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you've got a character within your show making fun of a show.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what it
yours.
is.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
so
It's-
meta.
Yeah, Marshall Younger walked so Rick and Morty could run.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is a weird attempt at like a meta joke, but it's like it's at the same time like they're poking fun at themselves, but not with like a level of self-awareness, really.
No.
We forgot how the episode actually opens, which is Connie talking about would Wit give a second cherry to the King of Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would like to take this moment to point out to Andrew and inform Arthur, because I can't imagine he knows this. Connie was the valedictorian of her graduating class.
Oh, yeah. No, I knew this. Yeah.
So, yeah, I knew you did. I was saying I was pointing out to Arthur.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
But,
Well, I thought it was funny when Connie asked that question and Wit has to tell her, like, Australia doesn't have a king, and I'm like, yeah, I'm listening to it like, yeah, I know, Whit, I know he doesn't. There's not a king.
Entertain the hypothetical.
Yeah.
Well, and now Australia does have a king.
Do they?
Well, I mean, so they're under the crown.
Oh yeah, technically.
And the queen is dead.
Yep.
And now
king.
there's a king.
So technically,
I don't know.
are they
The official monarch of Australia is the King of England, I guess.
Yes.
Which, sure, but
Is there any other legitimate monarchs? Can you name off the top of your head?
no. But I
Okay.
mean, I'm sure they exist, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't have monarchs. There's got to be small islands or there's places that have monarchs, I assume.
That's fair.
Even in the sea, there's king crab.
We are ignoring the butterfly.
Right. Legendary monarch of the sky.
Ooh, that's a worship song waiting to be written.
All right, I'll let you get on to that, Andrew.
Thank you.
You've
I'll
you've
work
got
on
the
it in
musical
chapel
connection.
on Tuesday.
Great. Arthur, did you clock the what the this interloper who's come in? He asks for a specific item off the menu.
Yeah, I actually thought this was a good episode for you guys based on the name of your your podcast. Because that comes up later, too. They have
yeah.
Let me see. It is the... What is this thing called?
It's called the Wad Fam Chalk Sod.
Yeah, the Watcham Hawk. Excuse me. That thing. I'll stop trying to say it.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
world famous chocolate soda.
Yeah, I did track that, and it's brought up later again in the form of a cake.
Yeah.
After which we are named.
Yeah.
That's then we get Connie decides that she's gonna finish her book, which then recaps that we have to set up Kelly erased her book, which was in the first episode or the second episode of the show, but in those first two. And so I was like, oh, so is this when we're gonna jump to Kelly? And then it's like, nope, Kelly's still gonna happen later. So she's off, Connie's off trying to work on her book, and she's started out with the word the and can't make it any further. And Arthur, you've written things. Mm-hmm. Do you relate to the is the writer's block real?
No, I start anything I write, I start with the word I, because I want everything I write to be about me.
Okay.
Just completely me-centric. And then that's also why I'm the only one that reads it. So there's trade-offs one way or the other.
There you go.
So,
Okay.
but the is an acceptable way to start a book.
Okay.
I would there are some authors who have done that, and that's acceptable.
I like to start with previously, just throw them for a loop.
Ooh.
They're like, wait, is there a book I was supposed to read previously?
As I was saying, so Connie's trying to write this book, and then Arthur.
Then Arthur walks in.
Yes. Well, sure. Wit can be our Arthur. You know. Missed an opportunity. Arthur, how would you respond to? Is there a Bible story about envy?
I would just
Not a single one.
No, there really aren't any. But that guy, like I said, I did hate that guy. But I did laugh at one point because he was making fun of them, and he goes, "You guys are so lame. You're cool."
Yeah.
And I'm thinking
Yes.
I can relate to that. I can relate to that.
Yeah. No, it's the beauty of being the butt of the joke. You're still involved.
Right. No, Arthur and I have dealt a lot with being so lame you're cool, whereas Andrew's been so cool that he's lame.
It's a rubber band effect, really. It's just the law of averages in nature. It balances itself out. I never considered myself cool. I was homeschooled. That's not allowed.
So Connie, right? So Wit comes in, and his piece of advice to Connie is, what if you recorded this rather than writing this? Because if there's a if there's anything the writers of Adventures in Odyssey love, it's audio.
That's true.
Like, it's such they fall back on this crutch so often in their show, where it's like, because later in this episode we also get Connie on her radio show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Getting kids to call in and stuff. And I guess maybe in 2007 kids were calling into a radio.
I was.
Like,
Kids cookie break. Come on now.
all right.
Don't act like you're better than me because you never got a free Got Milk tote bag from WJTL.
I did not call into Kids Cookie Break. I did visit WJTL one time with Arthur Woods.
Hey.
Yeah, I remember that. That was good.
Yeah. But besides the point, they are so Connie goes on to be like, hey, yeah, maybe this will be the thing that like prompts me to, have some idea. And then she's like, I'm gonna interview kids. In fact, I'm gonna interview the next person who walks in about like what they like about Odyssey. And then Kelly walks through the door and Connie goes, well, maybe the second person.
Yeah. Man. Absolutely destroyed. So much animosity from this adult towards a 10-year-old.
I know.
I did think it was. I thought it was interesting when Walt gave her the idea of recording this. Walt says, "Well,
Walt
Wit.
John Avery Waltaker.
Waltaker says to just go with it. His name's Waltaker now.
I like it.
Wit goes. Well, I have a recorder in the back, and I felt like that was like Adventures in Odyssey being aware that technology was changing, and so it was real nebulous about like because normally back in the day you would have said like a cassette recorder or a micro cassette recorder or something, and it was just like, I have a recording device of no specific origin or design.
Yeah,
that
well,
you can
2007 is
voice.
probably mini disc, right?
Yeah, I'm sure that's what Whitaker had.
I like that you've replaced his fake name with an actual name.
Yeah.
I feel like that is fair.
Yeah.
His name should be Walt.
Yeah, I think it should.
Walt's End, though, doesn't have quite the ring that Wit's End does. So yeah, we've got Kelly is 10, which I had forgotten because she sounds older than 10, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
In our last
Oh,
episode,
yes.
I feel like we spent 5 minutes trying to figure out how old this kid was, and then apparently she's just 10 years old, but she acts like she's like 22, but...
No, she sounds like she's 22. She acts like she's, like 17 and trying to get her parents off of her case.
Yeah, she's like 17 and traumatized child age, but
Amen.
like in real life, she's
I've
like
seen
10.
that.
Yeah.
She's lived a life.
Yeah.
So
And that's like a real thing. Like
Yep.
a 10-year-old acting like a 17-year-old because of what they've gone through. 100%.
But yeah, Connie is an adult, Kelly is 10, and Connie's like, I can't deal with this kid. I'm still holding this grudge.
I work at a soda
Months
parlor
later.
and I cannot forgive a child.
And so, yeah, Wit just lays into her a little bit in that scene, and then it ends.
Yeah, no, basically he's like, you need to stop harboring this grudge towards her. Here's this ice cream cone. Don't know if she likes this flavor or not, but, take it. It's on the house.
Yeah, it's the one he's trying to get rid of.
Yeah.
Overstock. And I don't know the geography of Oddity, but I don't know how far, like, Wit's place is to the library, but, like, I'm sure the library wants this melty ice cream cone going into their establishment to just melt all over the floors, but...
No, you're talking about the library at Wit's End, right?
Right. So this is the gotcha, is in this part, she's at the library at Wit's End. That Connie sends her to, but later she's at a different library,
Public library,
and that is not clear.
Explain some things that made no sense to me.
Okay, there you go.
All right, glad we can clear that up. It's not clear.
It's a different library.
Not
Yep.
clear.
Okay, because like spoiler alert, later on when like when Kelly's mom is saying like, I looked in 8 different places for you. I was thinking, you didn't think to go back to where she just was last time she ran away? But you're saying it's a different
library.
place. Gotcha.
Yeah, Wit's End has a library, which is where Connie banishes Kelly to. She sits down at like the counter to work
Yeah.
on her homework, and Connie's like, wouldn't you rather do that upstairs in the
Yes.
library? And so she like walks off, and then Wit's very aptly like, she knows why you sent her away.
Yeah.
Which I do appreciate, giving that, like, really emphasizing that, like, yeah, she's not a dumb kid.
Yeah.
Like, she does understand that, like,
Right.
you don't want her around, and that's why you kicked her out. Even if Connie's not willing to admit
Right.
that.
That makes sense.
Also, and they're to the point Andrew said about the ice cream. You know, she don't even know if she likes it. Her affection for that ice cream flavor was established in,
Okay.
in an earlier episode.
Wonderful. I'm glad. I'm glad to be wrong in this situation. We love continuity.
That does make
Yeah.
me feel better.
I listen as
Look, they
somebody
really
that
do
has spent so many anxiety-riddled moments buying ice cream for people and not knowing what flavors to get.
Are people that picky?
No, but I have weird taste in ice cream, so I can't just buy what I'd get for myself for other people.
Can't you just get someone vanilla and be done with it? And then if they're like, well, I don't eat vanilla, you can just be like, you're really kind of an idiot.
True.
Everyone eats vanilla. Now, if you
True.
got like Rocky Road and they didn't eat it,
Yeah,
like, okay,
yeah.
that's a preference. But everyone eats vanilla.
True. That's an...
And if you're listening to this and you don't eat vanilla, like literally, Andrew and Dylan don't want you listening to their podcast.
Yeah, no,
you gotta
that's
eat.
true.
I think that's where
All
we
people
are.
that prefer chocolate ice cream
Oh.
over vanilla ice
Yeah,
cream.
no, you guys can see yourselves out.
You can get out. It's
Chocolate
okay.
ice cream is not good.
It's definitely the worst form of chocolate, in my opinion.
Do we want to wait and just wait for those people to sign off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a moment of
Well,
silence.
moment of silence
Just-
for
yeah, go
our
ahead.
for our fallen listeners.
Thank God they're gone. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
That one in particular.
They
oh my
farted on their
gosh.
way out. Chocolate ice cream eating, lactose intolerant animals.
So we jump back to the house at this point, and Kelly has left a note saying that just says, "I've gone out."
Yeah.
And Elaine is kind of freaking out about this to her daughter Tamika about like, she's 10. She can't just say I've gone out.
Nope. I can't even like relate to that on any level. If I had ever, when I was her age, wrote a note on my parents' fridge that said, "I've gone out," they would put a note on the front door saying, "Don't come back." Like that would have been. That was not an option for me.
You are staying with
yeah.
Grandma tonight.
Yep. Say hi to Grandma for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like my parents were pretty strict about that. I feel like there was no way that I would have run off. But there was a lot of times when I was just left unattended that I would do stuff. like I would go, walk around the neighborhood and stuff. But
Yeah. And it's like she's saying this in Odyssey, which is the safest town on Earth.
it's Sesame Street, according to Kelly.
That was funny.
Which Sesame Street is far too liberal for Odyssey.
Although she does deliver that. She says we live on Sesame Street, and she delivers the line as though she's
Yes.
speaking the name of the street that they live on.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't say it in a way that feels like it's quite a joke.
Come on, Mom.
Oh,
we
yeah.
live on Sesame Street.
I did like the way she delivered it. And I don't know if 2007 Sesame Street was quite as liberal as
True.
perhaps they've become.
True. Was Mr.
Back
no,
in the good old days of Sesame
Well, I
Street.
mean, 70s through 2010 was probably at a solid 50 years there. They were doing all right.
Oh, man. So yeah, they call Wits End, and Kelly was at Wits End, and Elaine goes to pick her up, and then she had left her folder inside and turns back to go get the folder, but it's not there, and they get into this altercation where she's convinced that Connie has took her folder in retribution, and Elaine comes to Connie's defense, saying that Connie's not a liar. Kelly fires back that she can tell when someone's lying, and that Connie is. which kind of sets up the actual conflict of this episode, which is
Lack of
like
communication.
well, Kelly's
trust.
lack of trust.
It's trust, Andrew. It's all about trust
Exactly.
All about trust.
and forgiveness. I spoiled the end, but it's about forgiveness.
It's about
Wow.
forgiveness.
Yeah.
Kelly goes back to the house and like fills Tamika in on this whole revenge plot, which then yeah, I don't know, because there's also this weird subplot that's then started here of like all the kids spreading the rumor that Connie's out for revenge that then like doesn't really get explored, or really we never quite close the loop on that.
Well, I don't know if that really happened or if Connie is just kind of was like, people aren't talking to me because they all think I stole Kelly's like folder. To me, that was more just like
Connie
no one
projecting.
cared. Like, yeah, that's exactly right.
That's
no
main
one
character
even
syndrome.
knows.
Everybody would have always wanted to be on Candid Conversations before this.
Right. Yeah, I could have had 100 people, but you still
Could have
one
had crying
folder.
Brian Dern himself.
But there's this moment where Connie and Tamika interact, and Connie is like, or Connie asks Tamika to be on the show, and Tamika comes back and is like, no, I don't want to. Then like makes some comment about like taking the folder, and Connie's like, well, I wouldn't do that, and Tamika's like, well,
Not really.
not normally.
Do I, Connie?
But right now, but she makes the point of, she's like, normally, if you were acting normal, you would have forgiven Kelly months ago.
Which is, boom, gut punch, knockdown, drag out. That is.
And then as soon as Tamika walks away, Connie hammers this home even harder when she mumbles to herself, not that I'm upset that she
Exactly.
lost it or anything.
Yeah. Okay. So as the older sibling, I guess you didn't really get into many altercations with your younger siblings ever, did you?
Plenty of altercations.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Did your dad ever like yell at you and say like, who's the X, Y, and Z year old and who's the
Sure.
A, B, and C year
Oh
old?
yeah, yes. Yep.
Yeah, that was classic argument.
Sure.
In my house.
You're 8 and your brother's 2. Get over it.
Yep. Or in my case, like I was 6 and my brother was 13.
Oh right, you were always on the other end.
Yeah,
of this,
yeah.
Because
I was on the
you're a
baby
darling baby child. and
But no, I'm a middle child. I had Grace. I had to harass Grace and
past and future guest.
3 years younger than me.
Yeah.
When my brother and I fought, my dad would put 2 chairs in the kitchen facing each other. And for half an hour, we had to sit staring at each other.
In silence?
And in silence, we weren't allowed to talk, but we were supposed to make eye contact to the art. So that's probably why I can't make eye contact to this day. It's just traumatic.
It feels incredibly effective. I don't know how hard it would be to get a child to sit still and make eye contact for 30 minutes.
Well, no, I was 21 at the time.
Oh, man.
No, we were kids, and you're right. And to, I guess, my dad's credit, though I don't want to give him too much credit for this, like, by the end of the 30 minutes, my brother and I are, like, laughing at each other because it's such a ridiculous scenario. That Yeah.
You get over it, you move on. But also, your brothers, you were probably going to do that anyways.
Yeah.
That's exactly right, yeah.
Not too many grudges have been held in my...
No.
by experience with my brothers. So.
Yeah.
So at this point, there's yet another note that Elaine has found
Oh, yeah.
at home.
She'll be back
from
by
Kelly,
9.
saying that she's out and will be back by 9.
Seems responsible.
Yep.
She'll be fine.
Yep.
I take issue with the fact that she wrote "I'm out," which is present tense, but she wrote it in the kitchen before she was actually out.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like grammatically she
Grammatically,
should have
definitely
written,
incorrect.
I'm going out.
Add that to the list of
okay.
punishments.
because it's not. She wasn't out yet, unless she literally took the notepad outside, wrote "I'm out," then brought it back into
in.
the kitchen, hung it up, and then went outside, which is a possibility that.
But
we
even
can
then,
consider.
when she's putting it on the fridge, it's still a false statement because she's not out. When
You're 100%, and I hadn't even thought about
so
that.
here's what I think happened.
Go ahead.
She went outside. She wrote the note. She folded it up into a paper airplane.
airplane.
She threw it through the window,
window.
As she's walking in the other direction.
I think that's probably what happened. So she was out.
Right. She was out.
Yeah.
The note went in, but she was already out.
Yeah, I think that's probably what happened. We can
Very
safely
fair
assume.
Yeah,
Boys.
I think 10-year-olds have a really good grasp on the difference between the present and future tenses.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally not a unique to the English language thing. Did you know that?
What, tenses?
Yeah. The like most other languages don't separate the future and the present tense. Like it's all just the one.
Sure.
English is like I think one of 3 languages.
How do you talk about the future then?
Talk about the present. It's all. There's no way to talk about the
in
present.
no other language. There's no future in any other language.
It's all viewed as one thing.
I only took German, and that's not how in German works the same way as English.
That would be
So-
like me saying I am a Sunday school teacher.
Yes, right now, yes.
But I'm not. I'm aspiring to be a Sunday school
Yeah.
teacher.
Andrew, tell us more about language.
God, please no. I just saw it on TikTok and I thought it was interesting.
Oh, there you go. TikTok.
All right.
It was from Hank Green, okay? I respect him.
Wow.
Great. So Elaine finally tracks down Kelly at the library. She called Wits End first. That doesn't work, and so she.
It's Walt's End.
Oh, Walt's End.
Yeah, go ahead.
And so she makes her way to the library. Kelly's like, "How'd you know I was in the library?" She's like, "This is the 8th place I've checked." And Kelly's like, "Well, at this point, I would have been home in like 10 minutes. Why'd you even bother?" And Elaine's like, "No, like that's the thing is like I'm worried about your well-being, and I want to know like where you are and that you're okay."
I am your mother. I bother.
Right. See, and my solution to this whole scenario is that she should just get her a cell phone and then turn on tracking, and then she always knows where Kelly is at all times. It doesn't have to be like an active parent. She can just kind of like watch
Passively
from
track
afar.
her.
I think that's a really healthy way,
Like a dog
to,
or,
right,
like
to
a- like
handle
a-
your child.
Like an enemy U-boat.
Yeah, just put a tracker on
A
it,
little GPS collar.
Yeah.
like Boba Fett in the or. Boba Fett does the track. Jango Fett does the tracker.
Jango Fett does the tracker.
All right. I got my Fetts confused. That's it. I'll see
I'm
myself
fed up
out.
with you.
Don't fret.
Oh man. But I don't know. It is a genuinely like touching moment. Like,
No,
I think
it is
it's,
very
like,
sweet.
I think this moment really works. Kelly kind of expresses not being used to having a mom who cares, and says that she trusts Elaine. And it's performed very well. I don't know. I enjoyed it. Arthur is someone who's had a little bit more direct interaction with kids in these scenarios. Like, do you have what was your read on this?
Yeah, I actually really did. You know, all joking aside, I did really like that moment. Maybe a little like on the nose, like what? You trust me? I trust you. Like
Yeah.
I still bought it. I liked it. The chances are that what Kelly said is 100% right. Like her mom probably wouldn't have gone looking for her, and
Yeah, she says my mom would have stopped after 2.
yeah, probably because your mom would have found you after 2, not 8. But anyway,
Odyssey's not that big.
Yeah.
Was she really looking for her in like the hardware store?
Yeah.
Was that really Elaine? I was looking for you at the beauty salon and the grocery store and
Greenplex
and my
Apartments.
neighbor's house and where?
Yeah.
just looking for her at the grocery store, and then they get to the car, and like the car's filled with groceries. So you weren't just looking for me.
Right. No, I had to stop and do some errands. Like,
Oh,
gas is
yeah,
expensive.
yeah.
If I'm going to be driving around, I gotta get stuff done while I'm doing
I
it.
see you mailed those letters that were sitting in the car seat earlier. Did you?
Yeah.
I looked for you to the post office.
Oh my gosh. My birthday present from my aunt came in.
I appreciate Kelly's logic of going from, like, I need to, of just, like, saying that she's just, like, whatever she says in the first one where she's just like, I'm out, and like, they come back and they're like, look, you can't just do that. Like, we need to know where you're going. And so her solution is like, all right, I'm going to put a time that I will be back. That makes, like, that's the solution.
Also, what
And,
library is open till 9?
Great point.
I mean, college libraries, I guess, those sorts of things. But a public library? Not in my town.
Not my town.
No experience.
Nothing good happens after 6 p.m.
Not in libraries.
Not my town.
That's when they start night in the museum. They start talking and coming off the
true.
pages. It's
Next, they're going to want to be putting a pool table in our in our town. Kids
the
playing
library.
billiards.
A pool table in the library. You still have to be quiet, but you just hear the clang of the balls.
Exactly.
actually, that doesn't sound so bad. It's some nice ASMR. I do like the sound of pool cues and balls and such.
Okay. I'm happy for you, Andrew.
Thank you.
But yeah, I don't know. Sweet moment.
Yeah.
I liked it.
It's good. It feels like we're carrying forward what was set up in those first 2 Kelly episodes.
Yeah,
of
I agree.
her kind of, I don't know, like learning to live with this family, and just what's different, but then also what's good from that. And it's just like, it's cool to have this evolution of their relationship and whatnot kind of outlined here. And it's done in a very, like, quick, tied up, sweet manner because we have to spend all this time on Connie's book project. We can't actually, like, dig in here.
Right.
But I think what it does in, like, a sincere and a nice way.
Yeah, I think the voice acting for Elaine is so good in this scene, as far as like the way that her voice kind of shifts when she's talking to Kelly in the library and she sees her crying and all of this. Like, I don't know. I just appreciated that she was primarily concerned with Kelly's well-being in that moment, and rather than punishing her, where she's like, yeah, you disobeyed the rules, but there are consequences for that. We'll deal with that later. But what we're doing right now is we're helping you figure your stuff out, get your project taken care of. Which is like such a cool, good parent moment because, that's not necessarily what your inclination is. And if you're a parent that's super controlling and you had to run around all over town, the chances that she didn't blow up and make a huge scene in the library when she finally found her is pretty impressive. So
and I think it's also, like, worth pointing out that Rachel Fox, who's playing Kelly, is 10 at the time that this is recorded.
Really?
So it is an actual 10-year-old, and I think the performance that she manages is even more impressive with that in mind.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't know that.
What? Good for them.
Yeah. Shout out to Rachel Fox.
Shout out.
But so then we gotta get away from this nice, sincere scene to take us back to the meat of the episode, which is Connie is on the radio talking to a kid who informs Connie that they like Odyssey because it's fun. It's very fun. Because that's where Connie's decided her book is going to go, is to be interviewing people about the town they're in and why they like it so much.
See,
to
instead
combat
of coming up
Rusty
with your
Gordon's
own original idea, you just interview your friends and family and stuff to kind of just make you seem like you have a personality. It's actually a really effective strategy that has long been the staple of the Andrew Sabo podcast for many years.
I knew that was the punchline.
Plugs are at the end of the episode, Andrew.
Thank you.
So I was confused on this.
Yeah.
There's probably a piece of it that I just don't know.
Yep.
What Was Connie on the radio all of a sudden? Where did that come from?
So at Wits End, there is
They have a radio station?
They have a radio station
It's a
called
megaplex.
it's KYDS, Kids Radio, in which they broadcast radio plays primarily, but also do some shows from time to time. You've got Candid Conversations with Connie, which is what this was. You also have Ask Dr. Wise. You have what's the Wooten's Broken Pencil show. There's just different people come in and do radio shows because if you hadn't figured it out, Odyssey is a radio show and they don't really know how to get much past that.
Yeah.
Because they can't portray video in an audio form. So all of the goings-on in Odyssey have to be really centered around this idea of radio.
That makes sense.
So yes, Connie hosts a radio show. I don't know how... KYDS has to be mostly static most of the time.
It's gotta be. Yeah.
Or maybe they're just rebroadcasting Odyssey episodes or something during the off hours.
It must be.
But it doesn't seem to... There's not a plethora of programming, and all the programming seems very time and people intensive in a way, which I'm just I don't know how they're filling this airtime. But one of the things they do is Connie's show where she interviews people, and she's decided to interview kids about what they like about Odyssey. So there's your context.
That does clear it up for me.
Yeah. Which is really the inspiration for the Andrew Sabo podcast was Candid Conversations with Connie.
Oh, yeah. Undoubtedly, whether I gave it the credit it deserved or not, it was the inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is when it comes up that the rumors have, gotten around and besmirched Connie's reputation.
Or she's convinced
she's convinced that the children are conspiring against her in a way that she will undoubtedly be foiled by.
And then Whit takes the audio that Connie's recorded to go off and tinker with. Because he's going to come up with some idea with what she's done, because she can't seem to figure it out. So not only was he maybe you should go from writing to recording, he was then let me take what you've recorded and I'll make something good out of it, seeing as you can't figure out how to do that.
Emphasis on the
basically
freelance.
just taken this whole project himself.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, just flipped Connie upside down and kicked her out the door.
Yeah, and then he's like, Connie, why don't you go write a book or something?
Yeah. Good. Get back to that. Thank you for helping me with my advertising.
And what then? This is
when Elaine
and Kelly come back to try and find... Oh, because when they're leaving the library, Kelly's like, can we stop in at Wits End on the way back? I want to give another shot finding my report, because she couldn't remember what she had written before and was really struggling to move forward with this project for school. And so she's like, let's see if I can find it.
So they're looking in the trash, and Connie's there, and they kind of butt heads a little bit.
Can I just say, I thought the sound design of the trash can, the dumpster, was just phenomenal.
Oh, it was immaculate.
There were dumpster sounds, there were flies, there were mice. It was just, I felt like I was in the dumpster.
Yeah,
you could almost start to smell it a little bit.
I could smell the dumpster. Now, I did not take a shower today. It's possible that's connected, but I could smell the dumpster.
It adds to the immersion, I should say.
Because, they're looking at the inside trash, and Connie's like, actually, I've already gone through that, but I forgot that that the people having the party brought their own pizza, and so I threw those right into the dumpster. Maybe it's in there. At which point, I'd like to point out that we've been tracking this for a while, but what food does or doesn't Wits End serve? And at one point it's established that they serve pizza, and there's an episode where Whit creates a pizza machine. Apparently at this point they're no longer serving pizza, or their pizza's just really bad.
Maybe it's just bad.
Or really expensive, and so these people brought in outside pizza.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Like, I will often go to like Domino's and then take it to go, and then go sit inside Pizza Hut and eat it.
Yeah.
Like
I think they're cool with that.
Oh, they're very cool.
The Pizza Hut loves
In fairness, they're not usually open when I do that.
Fair.
But
I mean,
know
what Pizza Huts are open?
that is true. They have a hide a key in a very obvious place. So.
They all just have fake rocks in front of their doors.
That rock
in the
looks
middle
so
of the path.
Fake.
Oh man.
Flat on the bottom.
You literally, if you look closely, it literally says hide a key on
Yeah.
it. So that was pretty obvious.
It's good to know. Life tips with Arthur Woods. I appreciate it.
Breaking into a Pizza Hut to eat your
It's not
Domino's.
breaking in if you have the keys.
It's true.
It's just entering.
Yeah, it's just entering.
So Connie, throws herself into the dumpster. It does sound like she falls for a while.
She fell for about an hour.
Yeah.
I got extreme Star Wars trash compactor vibes from this dumpster.
Very much. Like 4 dumpsters put together twice as deep.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite as wet as the Star Wars, trash compactor, but it's similar.
No, yeah,
Similar
definitely
in
just
scale.
almost like a foam pit, but just replace that with full smelly trash bags full of rotting ice cream. Mm-hmm. It's and paper towels, lots of paper towels.
Well, and half-eaten pizza.
And half-eaten.
Which really, like, who only eats half of, like, you don't throw pizza out.
That's
like
what
me.
I'm saying.
That's ridiculous.
It's upsetting.
Yeah.
It's
got to
upsetting.
have been in your fridge for like a month before I'm throwing that pizza out.
Right,
And I
but
have no idea how it
How
gets
would that happen?
Right.
In what planet?
Right. I mean, maybe if I leave for a month and come back.
And still, I'm going to pull it out and be like, it's probably
If there's
fine.
not
If I put it
on
in
the top.
if I can't see mold, the microwave will cure the rest of it, right?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, mold can be removed.
True.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't have a second of all.
Pizza is good.
Second of all, pizza's good.
Yeah. But yeah, Connie really commits to going into the dumpster.
Okay, but do you get upset when people don't eat their crusts?
I eat crusts.
I eat crusts. I'm a crust
I
man.
also eat crusts.
Yeah,
Do you or anybody you know or love not eat crusts?
No one I love. Some people I know.
Okay.
but
Hey,
he
man.
used to love them until he found out
Right,
about
it's
the
very
crust.
my love is very conditional.
Yeah.
There's one condition. It's crust.
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 But yeah, so Connie's in this dumpster, and Kristen comes out and is like, Connie, what are you doing in the dumpster? And she says, I'm thinking of building a summer home in here.
Which is pretty good.
That was
bit.
good. That was a good
I
response.
liked the joke. I also liked the way it echoed as
Yes.
Connie's like yelling out of this dumpster that she's building a summer home.
Well, and it also like that resonated with me where like kids will ask you wonderfully like innocent questions that you just can't respond to honestly out of care for their feelings and development. It's like it sounded like she wanted to say "you idiot" at the end of her sentence.
Well, I don't know if your show has many Gilmore Girls fans, but I know we have.
talk about it
two hosts.
Okay.
constantly.
Oh, thank God. So, one of my favorite scenes is someone walks outside and says something like, "Oh, is it raining?" Paris goes, "It's National Baptism Week. Tie your tubes, you idiot."
Yep, it's one of my favorite moments.
Like, oh my gosh.
Why are you wet? Is it raining?
Yeah.
No,
it's National Baptism Week. Tie your tubes, you idiot. It's horrible.
It's great. I have sent that gift to you on more than one occasion because it's great. Delightful moment in Gilmore Girls. Watch Gilmore Girls.
Please do.
It's got very small town Odyssey vibes, you know? But Kristen reveals that she has actually come out to give Kelly her folder back. She took it by mistake.
Okay, so we need to pause here. Maybe there's more I'm not understanding. So this Kristen chick, she goes to a party, a pizza party, and she decides, I better have my school backpack with me at this party. And then while she's at the party, she sees a folder. And like anyone would do at a party, would say, oh, that must be my folder because I always bring my folder to pizza parties.
Amen.
Am I understanding
No,
the
that-
details of what happened?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
No,
Completely
yeah.
accurate logic.
I don't understand what doesn't add up there for you.
Oh, I don't
Arthur.
know. It just
that's how
the-
I live my
Also,
life.
The
What
parties I
folder?
go to, I've never once been like, did I bring... That's my folder right there, isn't it? Yeah.
You need to go to better parties.
Maybe that's it.
Well, and what school folder doesn't have the kid's name on it? In like
all
lar-
of mine. It really bothered. Like I really didn't like sharpieing my name onto things because it felt so permanent that I just left all my binders unlabeled.
You didn't write it in the
No.
corner or nothing?
Nope.
You
They were color coded, and that was it.
unhinged. Or maybe you're just that responsible that you never have to worry about losing things.
Oh, I was
Me,
not.
As a golden
I lost
retriever.
so much.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. I could not be me. That was the thing I could not relate to, was just picking up a folder, not even checking anything on the inside.
Well, and you were homeschooled, so if you were at someone else's house, your folder was not there.
Yeah, exactly. Or public school or college, any of it.
If you were in your living room and you saw a folder, it's probably yours.
Yeah. Ideally, either that or it's Grace's, and either way, I'm doing pretty well.
It's a 50-50 shot.
Yeah,
So-
in worst case scenario, the work is easier. So
Yeah. So Connie and Kelly have their makeup conversation here, where I don't know. Connie's like, "Yeah, I went into the dumpster for you, Kelly, because I really wanted you to find that paper and try and earn back your trust or whatever." And she's like, "Let's start over here." And so they and Kelly, like surprisingly, I don't know, in a moment of like intuition and self-awareness, is like Connie's like, we can just like move past this. She's like, you're not gonna be able to move past your book. And Connie's like, you're right, but I can treat you as though I have.
It's kind of like, I'll just pretend. I will continue to hate you.
Yep.
You'll know it. I'll know it. But we'll pretend to be nice.
Yeah. That's the best way.
I'm not sure that's exactly how I'm supposed to read that.
I believe that's how forgiveness works. You just pretend you don't hate them until it goes away? Question mark.
Yeah,
Or you die from bitterness.
Yeah.
Right. It's really easy not to hate people when you're incapable of holding a grudge.
True.
Are you a non-grudge holder?
I'm
Arthur, I'm a non-grudge
I do
holder.
know that. Yeah.
Yeah. Other grudge holders at the table. Do we have?
No, I don't hold grudges. I try not to. I listened to that one Lord song and I was just I'm cured.
What we reveal that Kelly got an A on the report, and we get a Whit comes back with the audio that he pieced together to create this documentary that he's gonna send off to like a small town radio show that's like syndicated or something.
Yeah, this was
like
all-
This American Life, but
Yeah.
for like small towns.
Yep.
And
Shout out This American Life. Banger program.
and it's all of Connie's episodes or interviews edited together just to talk up Odyssey, and that's what we go out on.
Yep.
And there's something that just feels wrong about the show Adventures in Odyssey, which has created this town of Adventures in Odyssey, talking up how great it is
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
end the episode.
It is
Meta again.
It's really something. It does hurt a bit in my soul.
There's the guy who's the one that stuck out to me is the guy who's the fairest car like mechanic in
Oh,
town.
yeah.
Oh,
and
yes.
he's like, well, actually, there's one in Odenton who's even fairer than I am.
Go here and they'll give your car inspection for cheaper.
Yeah.
So I guess those interviews weren't done in the studio, though.
No, it seemed like they were out about the
they
town.
were out doing
Also,
roving interviews.
Completely ignored Bart Rathbone, who notoriously rips people off.
Right, sure. It's not like everyone in Odyssey is an angel. There's one who's a demon.
A greasy demon.
But it just, I don't know. It once again, it's this weird, it's an episode that is bookended by stuff that I don't particularly care about, but in the center has some good Kelly stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just a kind of disappointing sandwich.
Yeah. I would like to close our time together. Not that we're closing, but
I was gonna
talking
say
about what Waltaker does. What Whit does with his trash. Because Kelly comes in and says, "Whit, where do you keep the trash?" And he's like, "In the kitchen, Kelly." I don't want to go to a restaurant that keeps their trash in the kitchen.
Fair.
Why not outside in the dumpster?
Yeah.
Where the plot ended up going anyway.
Yep.
We were outside at the dumpster, but Walt's just like, no.
Nope. Go to the
Trash
kitchen.
goes in the kitchen
right
first.
next to the ice cream and the
And
bananas.
if we can't use it in the kitchen, then and only then will we put it outside in the dumpster.
You make a great point, especially because a day has gone by, right?
Yeah.
We're assuming
Right.
this doesn't all take place in the same day.
No.
Right.
There's
It's
two
over the
separate
course of
libraries.
at least one day, or over the course of at least 2 days, rather. So the trash from the day that Kelly was there
Right.
is now in the kitchen
kitchen.
a day later.
Yeah.
It was moved from another location to the kitchen as a holding cell before it goes to the dumpster.
Well, because you can pull the pizza out of the half-eaten pizzas, you can put them back,
On the shelf.
on the shelf and resell them.
Yeah.
Right, maybe
Reheated
that's
pizza's
how
good.
Wits End has pizza, is they don't actually make it there, but sometimes they skim the trash.
It could, and
then they're like-
that's why no one buys their pizza. That's why people bring pizza, and then
They have it.
yeah,
Nobody
then
wants
Whit
it.
takes it, sells it. Everyone hates it. Has to bring their own pizza. Whit takes it, sells it. Everyone hates it. People have to bring their own pizza.
I think we should start a new business, guys, where we just get all the pizza leftovers and we sell them. Because like we said at a few minutes ago, leftover pizza is always great.
Yeah.
So we just accumulate everyone's pizza leftovers, and then people can come in and buy it at a cheaper rate. Like the discount grocer, but of pizzas.
Bulk crust.
We could call it dumpster pie.
Perfect. I see no problems here. Let's
Problem.
Let's get that loan and start on this exciting journey. They'll be our first sponsor on the podcast.
Dumpster pie.
We need a nice tagline.
Dumpster pie.
You may not want
Yesterday's
it, but someone
pizza
will.
at today's prices.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. What else? Any notes we didn't hit on, things that really jumped out, good, bad, ugly, things we want to touch on from this episode?
I was impressed that Kelly wrote a note before she ran away at all. The first time.
Very good point.
I was surprised
Yeah,
she
that's
did
growth.
that at all.
She's considerate. Also,
yeah.
ran away is strong. She didn't she intended to come back.
Yeah,
she just
exactly.
went out.
Exactly. I was surprised
She was
wrote
going
a note
out.
anyway. If there wasn't an established rule, that she couldn't just leave a note. Yeah, I thought it was nice.
The largest paperclip ever is in Russia, and it's
Oh.
over 30 feet tall.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, there's apparently another
So
one
that's
in
why
Canada.
they're fighting.
It might be. Canada's is like 15 feet tall, and then there's some in the United States. So there's some argument going back who has the tallest one.
Is it proportional? Like how thick is the wire on the 30-foot tall one?
I don't know.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be
Right.
very thick.
Yeah. That's
Because it's gotta hold up against
right.
wind resistance.
That's a big paper. Is it outside or is it inside?
I don't know. I'm flying there
gotta
today
go
to find
back.
out.
All right. Please,
but yeah, I'll
we'll
let
do
you
some
know.
recording with you like on site.
On site, yeah. Coming to you
We'll call
live
you in
from
live
the-
from the world's giant
Yeah.
biggest paperclip.
Yeah, it sent me on a bit of an odd deep dive when that annoying guy at the beginning was like, "You're like that town that has like the biggest paperclip in the world," and I was like, "What town is that?" I was like, "That's not a town, it's Russia."
It's a trap.
The Russians are coming.
They got me.
Man.
The nuclear paperclip.
Yeah. I don't know. My only note I think that we didn't hit on is that Kelly has black hair. That just,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
she does.
stated, and in an audio show, we don't get visual cues very often. So
That's true.
I was appreciative of that note.
Yeah,
But-
good episode though. I have good feelings
Yeah.
overall. There were definitely parts about it that I didn't like. I don't think it was the most efficiently written.
Sure. It lacked focus in moments, but there weren't any pieces of it where I was like even when it's like the most unpleasant guy in the world, I was like, I'm enjoying how horrible this guy is.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I would,
Like the show knows he's bad, and that's the point.
and I think that I would play this with good conscience for a child and not fear for their overall well-being. So, yeah, I feel like
That's a good metric, you know.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. At least with Odyssey. Can't be too careful.
Arthur Woods, thoughts overall.
Yeah, I enjoyed the episode. I think what's fun about this podcast is like we tend to just like make fun the entire time,
And then be like, oh,
but
it's
then
actually
in
light.
reality, when like it's all done, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, I mean, I did like it. Like,
I don't know. I thought it was a good time.
Cute. I liked it. So I did. I've actually liked all 4 episodes that I've listened to about Kelly. Yeah, the last one we did not as much.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but yeah,
No, I thought that this was nice.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of growth.
yeah.
I'm excited. I don't know how her story ends. So
There's 3 more episodes.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's
3
a
more years
single
of the
episode.
podcast.
Well, there's a single episode, and the last one's a 2-parter. So we'll
Okay.
probably
One more
We'll probably
year.
have we'll probably have
Two
two
more
more
years.
years. You know.
If whenever you guys decide to end this
Yeah.
podcast,
No,
you've got to get me in.
yes,
to, like,
absolutely.
we've got to find. We've got to close the loop
gotta
here.
close
We've
the
got to
loop.
graduate from Kellyology.
Andrew and I won't be on speaking terms,
Yeah.
but we'll still be like, all right, Arthur can come. We'll put up with each other for like 3
Exactly.
hours to get this stuff recorded with Arthur.
No, we'll sit
and
down
then we'll-
face to face in silence for 30 minutes, making
staring
eye
at each other.
contact.
Exactly. And then I'll
Right.
coach you guys through,
Yeah,
and then
perfect.
if
we'll
it comes
come
down
back
to it, I'll just record the episode myself. Be
Yep.
like,
Yes.
welcome to the Wad Fam
The world's hottest potato. I'm your host, Arthur Woods.
I'm here with Dylan and Andrew. Say hi, guys. Hey, hey.
It's good. It's good. Oh man.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm looking forward to see how it ends.
Yeah. I don't think I don't think anyone will be satisfied, but we'll cross it when we get to it.
Is there an actual end, or it's just like she has a last episode and
No, they do. They don't conclude her story, but they do. It does come to a climax of sorts.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So moving past the episode, which we've so diligently been talking about for this past hour or so. Arthur Woods.
Yeah.
What would you like to promote?
Yeah, well, do you have like how many people listen to this? It's several thousand, right?
Yeah,
You're at
yeah.
least a
We're,
million
we're,
or so.
we're almost at Joe Rogan numbers. We'll be there soon.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan.
We just
He
need-
wishes.
He wishes. Joe Rogan's fan base is not nearly as loyal as ours.
Man, I
I'll
appreciate that.
I'll put the chalk squad up against
Well, and
the
to affirm what you're
Roganites.
saying, Andrew, I have chosen to be on your podcast 4 times. I've never once chosen to be on his podcast.
Exactly.
So that shows where my loyalties are as well.
Amen.
But yeah, these days I do life coaching for teenagers. I get to partner with parents and kind of help their teens develop healthy mindsets and strategic methods for success. So I get to do that in a one-on-one virtual coaching environment. And so if you're the parent of a teenager, let me encourage you to connect with me on Facebook at Arthur C. Woods. We also have a parent group on Facebook specifically for parents of teenagers. Or you can check me out at arthurcwoods.com. And I think that's it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Pretty soon I'm hoping to be a Sunday school teacher.
Pretty
We'll-
soon. Do you have
We
any?
shall see.
Yeah.
Chalk Squad,
Now,
let us
would
know
you
if there are any
consider teaching a
churches.
Sunday school lesson on one of these episodes?
Oh, that would be interesting. You could do that. Absolutely could do that.
I mean, I'm sure it's been done.
I could do a 6-session Sunday school just on, if I could say 6-session Sunday school, just on Kelly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm just spitballing, or
Yeah.
maybe you work these episodes into your coaching, like you give them these as like homework for the kids to or the teenagers to think about and mull over, and then come back to you with thoughts on, and can analyze them through that lens. I have no idea what you do.
No, absolutely. It'd be the Watt Fam Coach Pod.
Amen.
Perfect. And on that note, I think we got to get out of here. Arthur Woods, it has been such a pleasure
Always.
to have you on.
Always.
I love this. And until our next Kelly episode, I don't know.
Enjoy the void.
Enjoy the void. Keep the faith. Keep the watch.
Yeah. And we'll be back next week with another episode and another guest. So bye, folks.
Bye.
Bye.
Wad Fam Chalk Pod is a presentation of the Lidditz Podcast Co-op. This show is a fan podcast and has no official affiliation with Adventures in Odyssey or Focus on the Family. As such, the copyright is ours under Creative Commons. Follow the podcast at WadFamChalkPod on Twitter and Instagram, or email us at wadfamchalkpod@gmail.com. Ship Off the Shoulder is hosted by Dylan Weaver and Andrew Acebo, with special guest Arthur C. Woods. It was edited by Dylan Weaver. And I'm Nathan Haverstick, hoping you'll join us again next time for more of the Wad Fam Chalk Pod.